Well, hey, good morning, everybody. I can still say good morning because it's 11:52, and here we're just before the noon hour here, Chicago, Illinois. You see the Sears Tower there. Hey, this is the Maggie Daley ice skating ribbon, and even though it's 15 degrees Fahrenheit, it's at -10 Celsius. We still got people ice skating here, sunshine, wind's not too bad. So hey, if you just want to join me for an hour-long walk here, my lunch break, we're going to check out the snow and the ice skating, not only here at Maggie Daley Ice Skating Ribbon, part of Grant Park, Chicago. We're going to go over to Millennium Park, and then we're going to head through the loop. Here's some of the high-rises here along Randolph. Yeah, we got about 6 inches of snow on Sunday. Other areas of the country got a lot more snow than we did. Here, let me turn on the comments here. Hey Chris, thanks for being on early there, the scanner guy, GMJ MNAP. How you doing there? Hey, how you doing there? 3PNK, how you doing? Prince, yeah, the lunch bunch. Hey, it's cold, but it's not too bad. Look at this little snowman. There's your snowman with your Chicago skyline. Look at that. You got Maggie Daley Ice Skating Ribbon. See, we got to make fun of winter even though it's cold. Or have fun during winter, that's what I meant. So here we'll head around. There's the St. Regis, the blue building behind there. Yeah, we got some snow, got some sunshine, got some cold, a little wind. Wayne, how you doing there? Grandma's Corner, thanks for being on. Yeah, Prince, how you doing there? 3PNK, I think I know who you are. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate it. Thanks for being on. Yeah, January the 27th, 2026. So days are slowly getting a little longer. I notice when I get out of work at 5 p.m. It's not completely dark. So hey, I'll have to scrub this out. They're playing the police music here, or Sting. No, this is Sting. The Englishman in New York, this is when he went solo. So just, I guess if Sting was a legal alien, that he wouldn't feel like ICE was after him because he looks like a European. Isn't that so unfair how ICE is going about profiling people? It's just my opinion. I know I don't mean to bring that up, but even music, even classic songs like this remind us, because that's what this song's about. Sting, how he felt in New York City being a legal British citizen in the United States, and that was in the 80s. And even though we share a common language, yeah, Lindsay, how you doing? Let you listen to the beautiful music here. Which would be ironic if I have to scrub this out to maintain the copyright, but I don't want to infringe on Sting's copyright there. But hey, welcome to Chicago. Here we're by Maggie Daley Park here, the ice skating ribbon. We'll walk around here. Maybe later the Zamboni will come out. We've been seeing it about 1 o'clock. Usually it comes out, the Zamboni here. Here's where its garage is. Yeah, snowy snow. Yeah, some people go ice skate on their lunch breaks. I agree. I worked with somebody like that. She would bring her ice skates, and that was even when I first moved to Chicago. There was a small traditional ice skating rink here, in addition to, well, actually there was not an ice skating rink in Millennium Park. The only official ice skating rink I knew of at that time, besides the one they did for, did they do one at, I don't know, but there was a small ice skating rink here in the 90s and 2000s, and then they got rid of it when they did the Maggie Daley Ice Skating Ribbon here, and they added all these climbing walls, and they added this underground, well, it's under the Randolph. That's where you can rent skates. There's restrooms and lockers. But here's the Maggie Daley ice skating ribbon here in Chicago, Illinois. Yeah, you can really pick up some speed here. Yeah, they made this ice skating rink. They made it in around 2004, and it's been here for over 20 years. You get some ice cream, or get some coffee here at the Freewheeling. I was gonna say ice cream, iced coffee. No, regular coffee. You got mixed drinks. Here's where you pick up the skates for the Maggie Daley ice skating ribbon. So we'll head over to Millennium Park. We'll cross the pedestrian bridge when we get used to the skyline. But yeah, that's where you can pick up your skate rentals. If you bring your own skates, they'll let you skate for free the first time, and then they want to charge you after that. I don't know how they keep track of it. I haven't tried it. Yeah, good afternoon, Jessica. How you doing there? Yeah, it's almost, yeah, we're almost to the noon hour. 11:58. Yeah, ice rink. Yeah, it's nice that it exists. Hey, Las Vegas tuning in there. Adrian, how you doing there? Yummers, Snowy Snow, Mr. Danga, yeah, Prince, Roy, yeah, Andrew. So this is Chicago. If you just tuned in, this is Chicago, United States of America. Illinois is the state. Chicago is the third largest city in the United States for now. Got a cold, wintry day, 15 degrees Fahrenheit, negative 10 Celsius. At least the sun is mostly out. It's going to be cold all week. I saw even Florida, even Miami, Florida, it's 62 degrees. It's freezing. It has to be really cold for Miami. Texas is in the 30s, even down to Corpus Christi. Northern Florida is cold. The whole nation's in the deep freeze here. So you're in good company. It's even colder further north. But hey, we're by the Maggie Daley ice skating ribbon here in Chicago, Illinois. Thanks for tuning in there. Name a blockbuster based on Chicago. Yeah, there's so many movies. We can talk about all the John Hughes movies and all the not even like Batman, Transformers, Blues Brothers, The Untouchables, and of course, you know, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, Uncle Buck, Home Alone. Of course, those were the suburbs, mainly the suburbs, North Shore suburbs of Chicago. Yeah. Hey, thanks for tuning in there. Grando. Yeah, it's a beautiful view there. Tristan, Roy. Yeah, it's a freak out. Do the Frank Zappa freak out. Mothers of Invention. Yeah, here's the snow. 14 in Boston. Yeah, we got about the same temperature here in Chicago. We got 15 degrees, 14 in Boston. I think you got snow as well. So hey, he's doing a viral video there. He's doing a dance. They got it blocked off. It's so funny. Let's see if we can sneak across here. And I wouldn't recommend this. There might be security here, but I'll just be like, I don't know what I'm doing here. I didn't understand they had this closed off here. But at least somebody shoveled off some of it. Here's the BP Bridge here, Chicago, Illinois. I want to check out the nice skyline views. And hey, look at the clouds. It looks like pixels reflected in the Blue Cross Blue Shield building. Yeah, What Women Want. That's a good movie. Yeah, they used the 2400 Lakeview building. Yeah, that's another one. They used the Rookery building. Yeah, if you want to see some Chicago architecture, they used the interior of the Rookery building for What Women Want with Helen Hunt. Mel Gibson came out in 2000. That's a good one. Yeah, thanks for helping out with the movies here. So here's the snowy Grant Park here. There, see, we're at the Maggie Daley ice skating ribbon. We got 12:01 in the PM here, Chicago, Illinois, United States of America, planet Earth. We got 14 degrees, 15 degrees maybe Fahrenheit. We got negative 10 Celsius. If you like that, hit the thumbs up there, double tap the screen, Check me out on Substack there, Brian Really on Substack. I got to post more content there. I've been, you know, I tried the live streaming feature on Substack. The resolution has issues just like the YouTube app. That's why we use Streamlabs here. Hey, here's the skyline of Chicago. There's the Loop of Chicago, the Pittsfield building. All the way over the Smurfit Stone there, the diamond-shaped building. Adventures in Babysitting. There's another Chicago movie. They use that diamond-shaped stone container building. That is too cold. It's too cold. Just got to dress in layers. Yeah, lots of history. Yeah, we got a lot of history. I know, Chicago's in my title. It's Brian Really Chicago. If I got $1 for every time people say, what's the temperature, what city am I at, go to O Block. You know, I should be Brian Really O Block. Oh my God. Here's, hey, we're crossing Columbus. There's the Aeon. But I'm downtown because I work downtown. Ernie works downtown. He's downtown all the time too. Ernesto, Chicago Nuggies, a lot of the other Chicago live streamers are downtown a lot too. So everybody converges. But hey, Keith Carter was over on the west side. He was at the Garfield Park Conservatory there. See, there's people streaming all over the city. You just got to check them out. Vicky usually streams from Little Village. And is TikTok working out their bugs there? Is it working better? I know there was some issues yesterday with people posting, not getting any views. And it seems like it's working better today. Yeah, there's no such thing as bad weather if you got the right clothing. You just got to come prepared. Like the Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, just be prepared. And, yeah, good afternoon. You're Christy, Scott, XRT fan, Grandma's Corner, Lindsay, Scott, Danny. Danny's tuning in. 500 miles, 22 degrees, 500 miles south of Chicago. It's still only 22 degrees. It shows you the cold weather's pushed all the way far south. Yeah. So you get taste of winter. They're redoing the seats here for the Pritzker Band Show. Frank Geary, of course, passed away end of last year. But hey, we made it across here. I don't think, let's see if this, hopefully the security is walking the other way. They'll make me walk all the way back to the other side and they won't even let me out. That's happened before. I said, you got to go back. We won't let you out. Hey, we made it. We made it across the BP Bridge here. Let's head to the Bean. The Bean's got snow on it. We'll check out the Great Bean of Chicago. We'll see if they're ice skating there. Millennium Park. And then we'll head into the Loop. We got plenty of time here. Started a little early today. Yeah, happy Tuesday. Taco Tuesday. Alexandra, Lindsay. Did you activate it? October. And it's still active. You have to agree to the new terms and conditions. It shows you just when you think you're out, they pull you back in. There's no way to completely opt out. There, we'll head around the... Yeah, I had to opt out of even Gmail. Gmail was the AI was scraping all the email for AI. I opted out of that, and who knows how much they already scraped. Even Google's doing it, TikTok's doing it, X is doing it. They're all just milking us like cows, stealing our data. We need to push back. Always push back. Don't let billionaires take your right. Don't let the government take away your right. Never voluntarily give up one of your rights, even if you think it helps you out politically, but because there might be another political party gets in power and uses the same thing being used against one side to be used against you. Bill of Rights exists for a reason. First and Second and Fourth Amendment, Fifth Amendment rights. Rights against self-incrimination. Never trust the government, even in America. Here's listen to the wisdom of our founding fathers. Always be skeptical of power, because power can turn on you, whether it comes from the left or the right. And got to fight for your right to party here. So hey, we'll head through Millennium Park. We'll check out the Loop of Chicago. We'll leave the Pritzker Band Show here. And thanks for checking out the snow. See if there's any snowmen over here. So if you just tuned in, this is Chicago, Illinois, United States of America, planet Earth. This is called Millennium Park. This is, you ever heard of the Bean Cloud Gate? It's a sculpture here, probably one of the most famous sculptures in Chicago. Even if you don't know that it's in Chicago, you might have seen an image of it somewhere. Looks like they got some road work. We might head down there on Madison. Here's the Great Bean of Chicago. Look, they got snow. Snow's sticking to it. We got some snow on Sunday, so it usually gets a crown of snow. We got 15 degrees here, -10°C. Pretty cold day. The sun was out, but it went behind a cloud to the south of us. That's why we're seeing blue skies. We're kind of looking towards the north and west. Yeah, The Devil in White City. It's an amazing book there about H.H. Holmes, but it's more importantly about the World's Columbian Exposition in 1893. All the architects, all those architects that you read about in The Devil in the White City, we show their work here in Chicago and where they lived, and buildings that are still standing in the loop. We might point some of them out today. Here's the Great Bean of Chicago. Cloud Gate. Anish Kapoor is the artist from London, and this is one of his most widely recognized works there. In a very prominent location, Millennium Park, Chicago, Illinois, United States of America here. And so we'll check out the ice skating. So yeah, you take a picture there. You take a picture, you see yourself reflected in the bean. Let's just show you the ice skating rink here, Millennium Park. This is Michigan Avenue. So there's the whole loop of Chicago. People are ice skating here. Even on a 15-degree Fahrenheit day, we got a few people ice skating here. They already took down the Christmas tree. Yeah, the bean. Yeah, have a nice day. Mango. The bean. Hey, people ice skating in the sun here. Skate to this hippie music. But here's the bean. Let's go knock on the bean here. Let's see if we can hear the man trapped in the bean here. See, you can walk right under the bean. You see yourself reflected several times there. Look, what am I wearing? A Texas thing. I got this from my sister. Hello. Man in the bean. You hear anybody knock back? Yeah, subscribes and thumbs up. Okay, so it used to be if you brought your own skates, they would let you skate for free, but I don't know what their policy is now with the ice skating. You can rent skates. It costs money to rent skates. It's pretty expensive, but like anything, the city finds a way to make money off of all these things. Even though it's free, like they'll, like the Lincoln Park zoo's free, but then they'll sell you some expensive drink or something, It's like being at a ballpark. But here's the Great Bean of Chicago, and you can skate for free if you go to the North Pond. If you go to the North Pond, I'm sure people have pass, but you skate at your own risk. If you fall through the ice, it's not a organized, controlled space. Yeah, Chicago loves you. Nothing's free. Yeah, California's beautiful, but yeah, it comes at an expense. Arizona, how you doing there, Yolanda? Yeah, 10 ma. Yeah, that thumbs up there. Yeah, unfortunately, I haven't eaten a Chicago hot dog lately. I don't eat a lot of hot dogs, but I know Chicago's known for hot dogs. I'm not too much of a aristocrat to turn down a good Chicago-style hot dog, but usually I eat them in the summertime. We go up to Byron's if we go to the ballpark or something beforehand, up on Irving Park. Or we go to Jim's Original down there in Maxwell Street if we're heading to the Sox Park. I used to go to Jimbo's, but Jimbo's closed down. Who remembers Jimbo's there? There's a few other bars there on 33rd there in Union Park. But yeah, here's the ice skating rink here, Millennium Park. And 15 degrees, -10°C. Here's Millennium Park, Chicago, Illinois. Yeah, you like New York? I like New York too, but this is Chicago. Thanks for tuning in to Chicago. This is my Michigan Avenue. And see, there's the Aon building. It looks like the World Trade Centers, but it's not. Here's Michigan Avenue. And And hey, they're playing the Talking Heads. Yeah, get your David Byrne on. Home is where we want to be. I think I've used that for TikToks. Here, we'll go by Raising Cane's, Madison Street, Chicago, Illinois. So, we'll see, it looks like they're doing construction here. I saw that they were, let's see if they're going to mess with the water mains. Here we got the walk here. So, here, Michigan Avenue, Millennium Park. So you see the Wrigley buildings up there. We'll zoom in and get you the, see, that's the Wrigley building. This is Michigan Avenue. So this is not New York City. This is Michigan Avenue looking up to the Wrigley building. Wrigley gum, Wrigley chewing gum. See how there's the Grant Park parking entrance right here in the middle of Michigan Avenue. We got 10 seconds to get across. This is Madison, Michigan Avenue, center of the loop. How you doing? Appreciate it. Thank you. Have a good day. Appreciate it. So here we'll head through Madison Street, Sweet Home, Chicago. Yeah, the screens with the faces, that's the Crown Fountain there. That's yeah, usually they spit out water when they in the summertime. But yeah, we'll head between the trucks. Here's the train. There's the green line head one way. I think it was the orange line head the other way. There's the Madison or Washington or Wabash and Washington stop here, the Chicago let us stop. There, we'll go past the cantina here. Cantina on Madison. So if you just joined, we're in Chicago. We got 14, 15 degrees Fahrenheit. We're on Madison Street by Wabash. Go under the loop of Chicago here, the CTA tracks. See if they're working on the road here. Across Wabash, we'll go into the L tracks. Yeah, Tor, how you doing? Eppie's on Ontario. We'll look for Eppie's. We cross Ontario a lot. Is it in Streeterville, or no? Is it in River North or Streeterville? That's the only places I know where Ontario goes. Yeah, we'll look for that cafe. It doesn't ring a bell, but I don't know a lot of the places. There's the train heading in there. There's the train line heading into the Washington and Wabash station, or Wabash and Madison, whatever they call it now. Yeah, you're doing good there. Yeah, you got all the skyscrapers there. That's good. Yeah, I don't know the price of things. I don't, you know, I'm bad with that. I don't eat enough hot dogs to know the price of the hot dog off the top of my head. If you can look it up online, you can go to a place and see what they're charging. I mean, all this stuff's available at your fingertips. Type in Chicago style hot dog prices. Ask the ChatGPT. It'll be more accurate than when I say. I wish I knew off the top of my head. It's just I'm good for some things, other things I'm not good for. So I know this is a Louis Sullivan, Carson Prairie Scott. This is what they call the Gothic Target. We go by here a lot, but it's because of the beautiful cast iron Louis Sullivan ornamentation. This used to be Carson Prairie Scott, now it's the Gothic Target. They used to bottom 2 bars for a Target store. And there you can see, look at this amazing wrought iron, cast iron ornamentation. Louis H. Sullivan, you see that 4? Louis H. Sullivan, you see his initials right there. They put it all over this, and he embedded it in the, this protects like the entrance, and this was the historic entrance to Carson Prairie Scott. Now it's the Gothic Target. If you go in here, you can see the inside. We show this many times, and they did paint over the columns. You see the columns in here, the Louis Sullivan ornamentation on the top. But if you look up here, look at those columns. Look at this, the wood crown molding here, or it's a wood, you know, fitted. And see, this is the inside of this cast iron protection. And then if we walk here, we can cross the street and see it from the other side. Across the street is a vintage Chicago skyscraper. This is called the Chicago Building. There's the Reliance building there. There's the two vintage steel frame construction skyscrapers in Chicago. But there you can see look at that amazing ornamentation. And here we'll cross the street. I think we're going to get the light here. Yeah, we got the light here. We'll cross State Street. Chicago Theater's that way. This is State Street, heart of the loop of Chicago. We got 14 degrees, negative 10 Celsius, 12:17 in the PM. And we'll head there. You can see the Chicago Theater. There it is. There's the Chicago Theater. Right up there. And see, that's the State and Lake Station, so that one's closed down. State and Lake, for the next 3 years, that station on the loop's closed down because they're renovating it. So we'll head over this way. Yeah, I like these windows. Look at these. Look at those windows. Madison Street, Chicago, Illinois. Central London, they're 15. Is that 15 degrees Fahrenheit or Celsius? I think London's warmer than we are, yeah. We're 15 degrees Fahrenheit. Here's Jones Hall, Big City Optical. Yeah, we went to the Taste of Chicago. I missed it last year because I was at my dad's place. But yeah, now the Taste of Chicago is held usually after Labor Day in early September. They used to hold it in July, but since the pandemic, they canceled it 1 year and then they pushed it to September, mainly because of NASCAR. But it might be interesting. They might move the Taste of Chicago back to summertime since NASCAR is not coming back to Chicago. It's going to San Diego. We'll see what happens. But yeah, we go to the Taste of Chicago. I got reruns to Taste of Chicago. We saw Nia and Big Glacier Keys there. Keys Impact. That was two Taste of Chicago's ago. We even went to the one before that. Live stream, and I've been going to Taste of Chicago since the 1990s. Here's Dearborn and Madison here, Loop of Chicago. So here we'll head around, we'll zig and zag. Yeah, we'll head up this way across Madison. Yeah. Funny with onions. Yeah. Germany, how you doing there? It's 19 in Germany. Yeah. There's across the street here. Yeah, let's walk up this way. We'll go up this way. Twelve degrees, feels like 5 degrees in Buffalo. Yeah. Hey Dolores, how you doing? Yeah, we're at the 1 North Dearborn. There you can get the blue line to take it to O'Hare. Washington stop on the blue line subway. Yeah, we'll head over to the Riverwalk. We haven't done the Riverwalk in a while. Yeah, so we went about a block north of the Palmer House. The problem, I got many reruns of the inside of the Palmer House Hilton. If you check out Lux, her name's Chicago Vistas, Lux. She just did a 5 or 6 part, really nice job. She toured like the interior rooms of the Palmer House Hilton. She has a really nice video that shows the lobby, the grand lobby. She talks about Bertha Honore and Potter Palmer and the paintings, and she goes in the ballrooms and talks about the history of the hotel and the many iterations. And so please check out Chicago Lux, or Chicago Vistas Lux, LUX, and she's got a lot of videos on the Palmer House Hilton. The problem I have when I live stream, I lose my connection. The thick walls, I always like going in there and showing people how beautiful the lobby space is. But it frustrates me because I lose people, and then people stop watching because I lose my connection. So that's why I didn't go over there. But here's Dearborn Street. And it's probably because I'm streaming in high resolution here on Streamlabs, but you know, positive, negatives, everything. Yeah, the famous brownies. So I think the brownies, yeah, that's what the brownie was invented at the, I think she talks about that too, where the brownie was invented at the Palmer House Hilton there. And the chicken pot pies were invented at the Walnut Room at Marshall Fields, which is now Macy's. Hey, there's the Bulls and the Lakers. They're showing the highlights from the Bulls and Lakers game. Here's the Channel 2 News. So there, the Bulls lost to the Lakers. Yeah, the Bulls aren't doing so hot this year. Here we'll go by Daley Plaza. Here's Channel 2 News. See, we just came from Millennium Park to Daley Plaza. Remember when the Christ Kindle Market was here? It's all over. So this is Chicago. This is Chicago, Illinois. This is the City Hall for Chicago, Illinois, United States of America, planet Earth. This is the Pablo Picasso sculpture. You heard of Pablo Picasso, the artist from Spain. He never came to Chicago, but they commissioned him late in his career to the 1960s, the late mid-1960s, they commissioned him to produce this sculpture. So it's a rare Pablo Picasso sculpture here, Daley Plaza, Chicago, Illinois. People have all kinds of theories of what it's supposed to represent. Here's the big snow. Here's all the snow that they pushed into a big pile here, Daley Plaza. There we'll head across. Yeah, City Hall. Remember the Blues Brothers? They wrecked the Bluesmobile here. Eppie's Deli, it's long gone. Okay, thanks, Lindsay. The whole building. Back in the day. No, yeah, Eppie's, it's gone. Thanks for explaining that. So yeah, I might have gone there. I did not realize, you know, and I might know the building where it's tore down there. Yeah, see, it shows you I'm not the less. Well, hey, thanks for remembering Eppie's Deli. Sorry, I don't remember it, but thanks for the context. I saw your comment there. Appreciate it. I know I missed some comments. Thanks for doing it twice there, or 3 times. I get it eventually. Here we'll head up and see the Thompson Center. They're putting the curtain wall. This is the new Google headquarters here in Chicago. And they replaced the curtain wall of the State of Illinois building, the Thompson Center. It looks like a big alien spaceship. Helmanyon's design. And we'll head over here. Oh, it had a tarot card place above it? Okay. Yeah. We'll look into that. So, the Second City Comedy Club is by Wells Street and North Avenue. We went by it this morning, but that's up in Old Town. That's about 2 miles north of where we're at. We're in the Loop. We're in the Central Business District, so unfortunately we're not near the Second City, but we may go by it tonight. Usually after 5 o'clock, I walk up back to Lincoln Park where I live, and we'll check it out there. So here, let's walk by. This is the State of Illinois Thompson Center here. It's being redeveloped for Google. They put the curtain wall on it. We'll walk around here. We'll head over to the Riverwalk. You looking for the authentic Pablo Picasso? Yeah, you pick it up at the Antiques Roadshow there. You'll bring it to the Antiques Roadshow. They said, this is a rare Pablo Picasso worth $500,000. So I just had it sitting in a junk box. Laying on the back of a chair. Here's, yeah, they're making progress. Almost got the curtain wall finished here. I don't know what they still got a lot of work to do on the interior, as you can see. We're heading up Clark Street here, Clark and Randolph. And we're filming construction here. Yeah, it's quiet on the streets. Yeah, that's them. Ashley, how you doing there, Lindsay? Susie Dominguez, yeah. So here we're by the Grand Thornton building here. I think they talked about they moved this. There's a DMV super center here. They use it for voting sometimes, and they said they moved it here. So here we're heading around here. We're heading up towards the Chicago Riverwalk. Yeah, here's the construction elevators, Thompson Center, new Google. There it is. Real ID Super Center, so I guess it still is here. I thought they were talking about moving this, but something's going to happen to it. Yeah, thanks for, I try to mix it up. I try to, you know, even though we're usually in the same areas, mainly I just walk to work and walk around where I work. There's enough density in the Loop, and the areas I walk, there's always something to see. Here's, yeah, look, here's underneath the Loop of Chicago here. We're over by the Clark and Lake Station. Here's the Clark and Lake Station on the Loop of Chicago. The Blue Line subway's underneath. They'll get you to O'Hare. We'll head up to the Chicago Riverwalk here. Show you property. I'm not a real estate agent. You can watch as many other real estate agents if you're looking for property. This is all property. You got 70 million. There you go. Well, hey, you can buy a whole skyscraper for that. You'd be like the TikTok guy that bought the Pittsfield building and redevelop it. $70 million. You could have bought the 311 South Wacker building. I think somebody paid $65 million for a 60-story skyscraper. That's not too bad. You want to pay the taxes on it. Here's on that square footage. There's the train. There's the train rolling through there. There, we'll head up to the Chicago Riverwalk. See, yeah, I think the river was freezing over, so let's see if the river's frozen over. The lake's trying to freeze over. It looked like it was frozen over on Sunday. Yesterday it was open water, and today it looked like it was trying to freeze back over. So let's check out the Chicago River here. We'll cross Wacker Drive. We got 20 seconds here. We should make it. So here, Wacker Drive. Here's the corn cob buildings. And Wolf Point Merchandise Mart. Get across here. Going to Las Vegas. Yeah, buy a lot of stuff in Las Vegas there with 70 million. Just don't gamble it away. Here's the Chicago River. So there is some ice, but it's just kind of along the side here. Let's just check it out here. I haven't spent much time on the river recently. I've been working from home in Lincoln Park a lot. You sing live. That's good. That's good. 77 million views. How to spell Mark there? Check him out there. 80K subs. Yeah, bots. We all deal with the bots. I know the bots. We deal with the bots on TikTok. We deal with the bots on YouTube. Like if I just start talking about politics, all these bots will come out of nowhere and they'll start over and over again regurgitating the same point. It's so funny. We can almost like, I'm not doing it because out of my mods are like, please no. Here's the Chicago River. Yeah, it's a sprawling business district. Yeah, I see your comment there, 50 star there. Thanks a lot there. It's good. Here's yeah, the Chicago River. And we got about 14 degrees, 15 degrees Fahrenheit, -10 Celsius. We've still got liquid water. Let's go over here. Let's see if the ice over here. See, look at the water dripping out of the weep hole there. Here's the this is the Clark Street Bridge. The Clark Street Bridge over the Chicago River, the main channel. People are jogging here. Yeah, it's liquid water. Hey, Wes. Hey, Wes, we tried to unlock, I don't know if that was your account. I was working with my mod team there. Thanks, One Gold Nubian and everybody else for helping out One Granville's Corner. Yeah, I couldn't find that you were in the ban list, Wes, one of Wes's, I think it's one of yours, Wes. And I subscribed to your channel. You weren't subscribed with that account. That account was no longer, so either TikTok kicked it out, and that's why. And so try to resubscribe, and I did not see that listed in the banned accounts, and so I don't know what's up. I don't know why you can't watch the live stream. Sometimes things get wonky. I know you were able to, if that's you or some other Wes, I don't know, and I can't keep track of everybody, but I know Wes usually tunes in here. I don't know if that's you or somebody else, but hey, we'll figure it out. Here's the ice. Yeah, so it looked like in the morning, the overnight the river did freeze over, and then it broke up, and it's not frozen across the center now. So hey, you want to get in a hot tub boat? Get in a hot tub boat and float around here. I haven't seen the hot tub boat out much this year. Oh, that's your original YouTube account. Okay, good, Wes. Well, Wes, I worked with One Gold Nubian, and there was one. We knew the account. I searched for it, and it's not. I went through all the names in the band. You're not in my band list. I resubscribed to it. I found it. I don't see any content on it, and see if you see that I subscribe, and try to subscribe to you back and see if it works. And if not, I don't. It's a YouTube issue. I don't know how to solve it, but at least you're able to watch with your other account. I know it's annoying, and that shows you. You know, even if we block. You know, I know you're not a troll. You're a regular follower. You're part of the lunch bunch here. You know, if we block trolls, they can easily start a new account and keep trolling. You know, it's just the name of the game. Bots do the same thing. But yeah, it's annoying. I know, dealing with the, and we have to sometimes. You might have been making a joke or a sarcastic comment and got misinterpreted, and accidents happen. So thanks for understanding here. So hey, if you just joined, we're on the Chicago Riverwalk here. We got 15 degrees Fahrenheit, negative 10 Celsius, 12:33 in the PM here. We just we already checked out the ice skating and the Millennium Park and Maggie Daley. Now we're by the Chicago Riverwalk. Chicago River is trying to freeze over because it's really cold, and it's been cold all week. Hey, we're playing in the snow. 53 in Vegas. That's not bad. Yeah. Oh, the protest. Yeah, it got really chaotic in the protest. Yeah, that was back during the No Kings. It was funny, like, I admit it, I was too lazy to come downtown on Sunday. You know, no one expected for, you know, well, it's not surprising that another person got shot by ICE and killed in Minneapolis. So tragic. But, you know, I wasn't planning coming downtown on Sunday to go to a protest until the tragic events of Saturday happened. And then I feel, and I know every time I cover it, I have to deal with all the pushback. The people are like, why are you covering this, you horrible, you know, person? Why are you covering these protests? I feel it's newsworthy. It's a newsworthy thing. And yes, I editorialize. I don't cover all the protests. And I didn't cover that one, but Ernesto Chicago Nuggies did. But yeah, it gets so chaotic with the comments. Ernesto had like thousands of people turning into his live stream, and the comments were going crazy. And Chris and Shauna were blocking the spammers, and people would get hung up on, all the protesters are going to get hypothermia. They're like, get over it. They know the risk they're taking. They're risking hypothermia to protest. It shows you how motivated they are, you know. And then they just kept saying it over and over again, because even if they weren't a bot, they were acting like a bot. Here's seagulls. So here it's 15 degrees, end of January. There's seagulls that won't migrate. What are they still doing here? Yeah, there's some people that cover their face. I do feel bad. I don't want to film anybody that doesn't want to be filmed. But we are in the public. There's cameras. There's security cameras right here. There's security cameras everywhere you go. You're on camera, so I don't want to hear it. You know, if you're worried about my camera, you should be worried about all the other cameras that the government uses to surveil us. And your own phone surveils you, tracks everything you do. The social media tracks everything you do. So I don't want to hear it. You know, we've already jumped the shark as far as we're all being surveilled all the time. So if you're worried about me surveilling you, why aren't you worried about the government surveilling you, or your credit card, or your corporate America, or Elon Musk surveilling you? Look, they got a fish. Oh, it's got two. They got a big fish there. Look at here's the seagull on the ice here. This is Chicago River. Hey, that's good eating there. That's a good meal there. They caught a fish in the Chicago River, the seagulls, and they're eating it there on the ice. Look at that. Hey, Texas, how you doing there? Here we're in Chicago. We're just watching the seagulls eat a stinky fish here. Look at these other seagulls. They're jealous. They're like, how do we get that fish? It's cold. That's why there's no people. You expect there to be a bunch of people out here. It's negative 10 degrees Celsius. What do you really expect? There's not people hardly out here in the summertime. And people are like, why do you live in Chicago? I like that there's hardly any people here. I like Chicago because it's less crowded than New York City. To me, it's a positive, but other people read all kinds of things into it. Yeah, we've lost our tax base. Yeah, what else is new? How could America be great without great cities? But here, thanks for checking out the Chicago Riverwalk. You got 1237, 14 degrees Fahrenheit, negative 10 Celsius. Watching the seagulls eat the fish. Yeah, good day for a swim. Yeah, it's a good view. So it's been getting down to about 0 degrees. It gets down to about -1, 5 degrees, single digits for sure. Coldest we got overnight in this whole current weather escapade we're going through was -11, I think. That was a week ago. And I worked from home that day. We did go to the lake and check out if we didn't stay out long. Ernesto streamed for like 3 hours. I don't know how he did it. Yeah, we need great people to show off the great cities. Thanks, Evie. Yeah. Yeah, I'd love to keep recording the seagulls. I was getting cold because, you know, when you're in 14 degree weather, you feel fine as long as you're walking. When you stop, that's when you get cold. And yeah, the seagulls eating the fish. You can rewind it. You can rewind. I might cut that out. I didn't know if people were getting grossed out by the fish. It was all bloody there. Seagull caught a fish, eating it on the ice there. But hey, Chicago Riverwalk. Yeah, the Marina Towers. Tron Goldberg. Here's the Vietnam War Memorial. Oh, I love the West Coast. I'd love to go out and get warmed up there. The only thing I got planned is in the end of February. I'm hoping to take the Amtrak to New Orleans with Chris. Hey, here's Jabba the Hutt. So yeah, we're hoping to take the Amtrak to New Orleans into February. Hey, welcome to Chicago. Here's Jabba the Hutt. And already a dog peed on it. Like, watch out, the yellow snow. Somebody peed on Jabba the Hutt. But hey, that's a pretty good. Let's check this out. Someone did a Jabba the Hutt snow sculpture here. It's even got the tail. See, we need a Princess Leia and the whole Return of the Jedi scene there. There's Jabba the Hutt. And there's some dog peed on it. See, some dog peed on Jabba the Hutt there. We'll cut this out. Oh, Solo. Oh, ho, ho. Jabba the Hutt. You see where it's at here? It's by the Chicago River. There's the Marina Towers, Chicago, Illinois. We got 14 degrees. January the 27th, 2026 there. It's -10 Celsius. We got 12:39 in the PM. Thanks for tuning in. We're by the Vietnam War Memorial here, Chicago Riverwalk. There's the Wrigley Building, Trump Tower. They got the fountain covered up, and here's we pay our respects to the people who paid the ultimate sacrifice here. Yeah, fall in the river and float away. There was somebody that jumped in the lake when it was negative temperatures. Yeah, we just crossed underneath State Street. Hey, you see Jabba the Hutt? Yeah. 24-hour lifestyle. Yeah, the city. You know, we're not as busy as New York. I mean, New York's really the city that never sleeps. Chicago, at least things do stay open 24/7. You notice it when you go other places, things do close down. Seems like there's more ice this way. So here, let's head over towards the Wrigley and Tribune. And in the shadow of the Trump building, there's more ice. Imagine that. People cue the jokes right there. There's snow falling in Texas? Wow. Crazy. Well, that's good. Yeah, I think, I know the panhandle of Texas can get snow because it's like the Great Plains. And I saw it was cold even down to Wichita Falls, and Fort Worth and Dallas got cold, even down towards Austin and San Antonio. It went all the way down towards the coast. And Florida, even Miami, Florida is only 62 degrees. That's a very cold day for Miami, Florida. And this cold weather is affecting the whole nation. Here's the Trump Tower, second tallest building in Chicago, Chicago River. We just crossed underneath Wabash. There's the Wrigley Building. I want to show the ice here. We'll show the ice on the Chicago River Walk here. You're in the Panhandle. It's cold. There you go. So do you get any snow there? Yeah, the bridge trusses. Yeah, these are bascule bridges. So these are drawbridges. See where those people are walking? They lift these bridges in the spring and fall to lift the sailboats out into the lake. Here's the frozen Chicago River. France, how you doing there? Maurice? Yeah, bonjour. No, it's not illegal to swim there. They had a river swim in September. Arnie filmed it. You know, I just don't know. I don't know if it's recommended to swim. It's not recommended to swim there now. It's not even recommended to swim there in the summertime. It's hard to get out. Hey, swim at your own risk. There's some people threw some snowballs down there. The river's frozen over completely here. So you see how it's open water further west, and then underneath the Trump Tower, starting here going east, you got ice on the river, right? Frozen river. Now I know in the Netherlands they ice skate on the canals and the waterways, but that's different. This is a river that flows, and so I would not recommend ice skating on this, even if it freezes over completely. You got plenty of other places you can ice skate more safely. But here's the Wrigley Building, the Tribune here with the frozen Chicago River. You got January the 27th, 2026, 14 degrees, negative 10 Celsius. We got 12:43 in the PM here. Hey, peace, Elisa. Look, the river's freezing over. The river's freezing over here. Let's see where we're at. And here's the USABO Michigan Avenue Bridge. Yeah, I usually stream most weekdays. If I'm working in the office, I stream Mondays through Fridays. Usually walking to work in the morning, 6:30 to 8 a.m. Central Time. I usually stream lunchtime here because otherwise I wouldn't get any content in the loop, because I'm just usually trying to get home when I get out of work at 5. So after 5 tonight, we'll walk back up to Lincoln Park. If you want to tune in here, subscribe, follow along, hit the thumbs up here. Thanks for checking out. I'm also on Substack. I'm also on TikTok. Brian Really Chicago on TikTok and Substack there. Thanks for checking me out here. But we'll see what's up with TikTok. TikTok's been acting kind of wonky. Here, let's head up to the USABO Michigan Avenue Bridge. We'll get you a nice view. We head up the stairs here. There we go. Yeah, hold on to the railing here. So here's underneath Lower Wacker. This is Lower Wacker Drive. We haven't seen the Blues Brothers. This is where they race the police cars. That's Lower Michigan, Lower Wacker Drive. And that gets you over to Lakeshore Drive. There's the frozen river. Right up here. Hey, look at that view. And you get the Wrigley Building, Tribune Tower, the Intercontinental Hotel. Used to be the Medina Athletic Association. Yeah, nice spot for a photo. Here's where site of Fort Dearborn. We're back to Michigan Avenue. There's the 333 North Michigan. There's the London Guarantee Building. There's this nice view. You get to the Wrigley, the Tribune, Intercontinental Hotel. So, hey, we'll just check out the river here. Yeah, the frozen river. Yeah, there's the Trump Tower. Second tallest building in Chicago. Here's the frozen Chicago River. See, we were just down there. Here's all the ice chunks. And here's the flag of Chicago. Yeah, look at the frozen river. There it is. Here comes the bus. Look, the buses are racing. 151 to 146. So slow. Slowest race. Hey, blue skies. Cold temperatures. Youngstown, Ohio, how you doing? Yeah, check out the frozen Chicago River here. We'll get it back when we walk back the other way. Yeah, is it frozen that way? Can't tell. St. Regis. It's looking towards the lake. Hey, look at that Tribune building. Looks nice. Wrigley building. Angie Love, gatekeeper. Yeah, I like the Irish flag there. Ireland, how you doing? Yeah. See, we're in less than 2 months. They're going to dye this river green for St. Patrick's Day. So in between there, we'll go to New Orleans. But there's the look at that nice skyline view, Loop of Chicago, water taxi. Yeah. Yeah, Chicago loves you. Yeah, you got good architecture, good bones. Quintessential American city. It's not the best, it's not the worst. It's not the biggest, it's not the smallest. City of neighborhoods, city of big shoulders, city that works, city that doesn't work. Here, look at this nice view. Wow. So here we got the 333 North Michigan, Mather Tower, London House, Michigan Avenue, South of Michigan Bridge. Look at the Chicago River. Look at the ice there. Jewelers Building. Yeah, look at that. See people taking pictures here, observing the moment of pictures. Got the Wrigley Building. Look at that. Look how the sun hits those buildings. So here we'll head straight across and we'll show you again. Here's the bridge house for Basquiat bridges. They lift. Yeah, third biggest in USA. You got it. So hey, the time is 12:48. We got 12:48 in the PM. 14 degrees Fahrenheit. We got about -10 Celsius. And here's the ice. Chicago River. Look at that. Yeah, look at that view. Life goes on. Yeah, life goes on. France, thanks for tuning in from France there. Yeah, it's cold. But hey, we still find a way to enjoy ourselves despite the weather. People are ice skating and you just gotta dress in layers, bundle up. There's the Chicago River. Checking it out there. How you doing? Checking out the ice there. Home Alone. Used to live in Chicago. Your father was a fireman. Your father was a Chicago fireman. That's great. Yeah, I'm sure you know about Backdraft and Chicago Fire TV show. We see them filming that, but your dad was part of the real Chicago Fire. That's why I tell people we see the real fire engines driving around all the time. Hey, there's the Jewelers Building. Hey, thanks for checking out some of Chicago on a cold day here. I'm going to head back to work. Thanks, mods and everybody else. We've still got 2 more blocks here. I'm going to wait for the light to change. 12:50. We started early, so we might end it a few minutes early. But hey, there's the Wrigley Building, the Tribune Tower. We saw the frozen Chicago River here, January the 27th, 2026 here. Yeah, we'll head across. We're about to get the light here. You know, when you speak slower, yeah, I do talk fast. I know it's hard to, especially if English is your second language. I know it's hard to understand a fast talker like me. Thanks for tuning in. I'll try to talk slower. Here's the London Guarantee Building, Chicago, Illinois. We got 14 degrees Fahrenheit, -20 degrees Celsius. We just crossed Wacker Drive. See, this is where Fort Dearborn stood. Potawatomi destroyed it in the War of 1812. It looks dangerous for ice skating. Why, you think, you're afraid you're going to get shot if you ice skate in Chicago? Yeah, I guess let the memes begin there, yeah. So now people fully understand that I honestly believe, and I'm not being hyperbolic, that there's a greater chance of me being shot by ice than the gangs of Chicago. I know people were concerned about crime, but I fear the federal government just as much as the gangs of Chicago. And you may think I'm being dramatic for saying that, but I grew up in the country of Indiana. I saw hate groups operating in Indiana, like the 3Ks and stuff, and I just don't like masked people acting on the behalf of government. It just never ends up well. If they should be proud of what they're doing, and if they're ashamed or worried about it affecting their family, they should be empathetic to how it's affecting the families of the people they're going after. And whether they're documented or not, human beings are human beings. And if Obama was able to deport millions of people in a much less violent way, why can't we do it this way? And why has it got to be the siege on the cities? We know it's to punish sanctuary cities. It's to extract a price, political price. And here, we'll show you the lower level. We'll show you the lower levels of Chicago here. We'll go to the lower level streets here. So wind it this way here. See here, Chicago, Illinois. There's the Wrigley Building, Tribune Tower. We'll go to the lower level. I got to hold on to the rail here. And we'll cross underneath Michigan Avenue. Go up the other side. You got to really hold on to the rail because these stairs are really slippery. My feet are wanting to slide on every step here. See, I could have stayed safe and stayed upstairs, but it's good to take risks sometimes. Here's the lower levels of Water Street, connects to Wacker Drive. Here we'll cross over here. Here's Lakeshore East is that way. This is Lower Michigan Avenue, so that goes to Lower Wacker Drive. The streets below the streets here, Chicago, Illinois. You've seen the Blues Brothers or the Untouchables or Transformers or the Batman movie. They use these lower level streets for many movie scenes. You see how there is a small unhoused population that's sleeping in tents over there. I'll leave them guys alone. But there are homeless people. Are like, you know, you never show the homeless people. I'm like, I don't go out of my way to do it. They're here everywhere living among us. I don't understand why, you know. But I guess I understand why people are asking, because they expect in urban environments to see more of that. Here's, yeah, we'll head back up to Michigan Avenue. But hey, thanks everybody for tuning in. Hope you have a good rest of your Tuesday. We'll be back on after 5 o'clock tonight. If you missed any part of this, you can check out the rerun on the live tab there. Ryan Willie Chicago YouTube. Hey, there's the Wrigley Building. 14 degrees. Here's the carbide and carbon. Negative 20 degrees Celsius. We got 1254. So you can rewind, check out the ice skating. I'm going to head back to work, get warmed up. But hey. Yeah, the daylight. I know we're not used to being in the daylight. It gets dark early. So have a great day there. We'll see you later there. Yeah, thanks everybody. See you tonight there. Yeah, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for hitting the thumbs up there. Thanks for subscribing. We'll see you later here. Thanks Grandma's Corner. Thanks One Golden Nubian. And Nita. Everybody else there. We'll see you later. Thanks Wes and Ed. Okay, see ya. Yeah, talk to you later. Peace, Lisa. We'll see you. Thanks a lot. Okay.